So let me open my Selenium IDE. I'm opening my Selenium IDE here. And now let's check it out our previous test script, which is a Chandrika 7. When I open that, if you observe, the script which we discussed is how can we create a multiple sequential user IDs. Okay, how can we create multiple sequential user IDs is the last script which we have seen. Okay, adding to this one, the next concept is it possible for us in IDE to create a script with dynamic user IDs? Okay, is it possible for you to create a script in IDE with the dynamic user IDs? The answer is yes. We can create the scripts user IDs like UI, some dynamic value like this, MU, some dynamic value like this, UU, some dynamic value like this. Okay, some dynamic value like this. The first, this one, that's up to you. Based on your input, so the first two characters will be selected. Okay, the first two characters will be selected based on your interest, whereas the remaining digits will be selected based on our system time. Based on our system time, these values will be selected. The rest of these values will be selected based on system time. See, the value 789 something is there, right? The numeric value will be generated by system time. How can we achieve this? For which I am opening my D drive, from where I am trying to open my user extension file. So I just opened my user extension file, in which I am searching for, see here, this is a function, copy the function, Control C, and paste that function here. So if you observe, the function name over here is generate account name. For this function, we need to pass a prefix. So the prefix I am passing is Chandrika. Okay, the prefix I am passing is a Chandrika. So if you observe, this function is returning a value, and it is displaying that string prefix dot substring of 0 comma 2. Okay, substring of 0 comma 2. What is the meaning of this one means? Copy this line and it's here. The meaning of this one is get the first two characters from the given string. Get the first two characters from the given string. So here my string is a Chandrika. So the first two characters are CH. It will get CH from our given string, and it is adding suffix to this one plus suffix. So here if you observe, the suffix it is generating with a new date, and this is the format it is generating in suffix. So suffix year, the last two digits in the current year, the last two digits in the month, the current date, hours, minutes, including seconds. This is the one. So this is the value. So how this is going to return means, whenever I call this one, it is generating this value. Whenever I will call next time, my year remains one and the same. My year remains one and the same. My month remains one and the same. Day remains one and the same. Hours remains one and the same. Minutes remains one and the same. But the seconds will change. If you observe, these two are different numbers. Hence the conclusion is based on the current system time, we are generating a dynamic number. Okay, we are generating a dynamic number. The function would be the case sensitive. Okay, see here, the values I can pass to this function, that's up to my requirement. I can pass the lower cases or else I can pass my upper cases. That's completely up to my requirements. Okay, is this clear for everybody so far? Chandrika, Yusuf and Shiva, is this point clear for you three? Good. This is the thing. So now, how we are going to implement this function? Yes, we'll show you with an example also, Yusuf. Okay, we'll show you with an example also. So, how we are going to implement this command in Selenium RC? That's the major thing. So, open your Selenium IDE. Can you explain with how the values are going in that function? How the values are going in that function means that date is a default value. Okay, so this one, right? So you want me to explain this one. Okay, so if you observe, this is the function, it's a generator. Copy this function, paste it here. So if you observe, for this function I need to pass a value. So as of now I am passing Siva. Okay, and the first line is a suffix. It is generating a suffix which is equal to the date format, the current date format, which is equal to the date format. So if you observe, the last two digits in your year, 2014 is our year, so 14 is the YY. The last two digits in the month, 09. DD, today's date, today is the 20th September. Hours, if you observe, my system timing is 21:43, 2 seconds. I just mentioned it as a 2 seconds, that's it. There's a suffix is going to generate a value like this. Whereas here we are returning from the prefix, get the only first two characters. So SI dot 140920214302. This will generate. This is the way how this will generate a function. Okay, Siva, is this point clear for you now? Done. That's good. And then, now switching to here, how can I implement this command means, the simple thing what I am doing over here means, after the label, I am declaring like this, like here, which is JavaScript of Chandrika. Okay, JavaScript of Chandrika. And here, instead of passing this thing, dollar open braces, the value I am storing it in UID variable. So here, simply call with the UID variable. So here what it means, store JavaScript of my function name is this one. For this function we need to pass this prefix. I did up to here. Okay, is this point clear for everybody? The simple concept, or do you have any doubts over here? The simple thing, store, as it is a JavaScript function specified as a JavaScript. After that, specify the function name. So, if at all I would like to execute the script means, I need to log in into my application first. So, save this script to so later open this application and now run these scripts. When I run this script, if you observe, let me run it in a slow. I'm just executing my script in a slow mode. Observe the script more carefully, guys. It will generate a dynamic number based on the time. still the first user is creating. See, the second user. See here the user ID entered is CH is something it got entered into that field. This is the way how this will create dynamic different user IDs. Okay, this is the way how it will create a dynamic different user IDs. Is this point clear for everybody how to create a dynamic user IDs? Which website I can test this function? The same website. Okay, I'm going to give you the credentials. Just test it from your end. Do one thing. Once your test data was finished, simply delete those data from that application. That's more than enough. Okay, whatever the accounts you have created, simply delete that stuff. So we have seen how to create a multiple user IDs and how to generate a dynamic number, that's fine. And then the next concept is split command usage, test suite, framework. These are all the three concepts in IDE. So the concepts are split the command, test suite, framework. These are all the three concepts. In dynamic user ID, how many users it will create? See, good question. The user IDs it will create is, here we are specifying the logic regarding X and Y. So, the numbers between X and Y it will create. Okay, Shiva? As of now, there are 8 numbers in between 2 and 10, right? So, it will create 8 user IDs as I am specifying my if condition with X less than or equal to Y. See, what I did over here, if you observe clearly, the value, whatever I am entering, I am just changing that value. Apart from that, I am not doing any other modifications. Right? That's the thing. That's why I didn't update any commands over there. Okay, Shiva, is this point clear for you, or do you have any questions? That's it. And then the next concept over here is how can we create, alright, so how can we implement, okay, so how can we implement some other concept, which is the split command. Generally, why we need to use this split? What is the significance of this split command? The simple thing is, assume that we are trying to register to an application. Okay, assume that we are trying to register to a particular application. Whenever we are trying to register to a particular application, that application will ask credentials. Okay, alright. The application will ask you the test data or the desired company information. So once we enter the information and whenever we click on a submit button, okay, automatically the user ID will be created for the application, and the application will display a confirmation message saying that it's just an assumption. Assume that successfully created a user and your ID is sample1. Your ID is sample1. Successfully created the user and your ID is sample1. This is the very first step. Whenever we create the same user for the second time, it will generate a message saying that sample 781. And the third time, whenever I am creating another user, it will generate a message like this. So it means my application is generating a dynamic user ID. If we can get this dynamic user ID, then only we can log in into the application, right? Until and unless I get this value, I can't log in into my application. So how can we get this values? Okay, how can we get these dynamically generated values? The simple concept over here is a split command from the whole text. Okay, from the whole text, split only the desired text. Whatever the text we want, split only the desired text. Whatever the text you want, split it by specifying a delimiter. Okay, by specifying a delimiter, split that particular text. That's it. Okay, by specifying a delimiter, split that particular text. So here I can specify my delimiter as this one, double quotation. So whenever the double quotation comes into a picture, split that string. Okay, it means before part will be stored in one instance and after part will be stored in another instance. That's the thing. Okay, before part will be stored in one instance, after part will be stored in another instance. Okay, is this point clear for you three? Chandrika, Yusuf and Shiva, the concept which I explained so far? Great. So what I'm trying to do is, how can we implement this split command? How we are going to implement this split command is, so here store this is Mukti. I'm storing this one in a variable. Okay, I'm storing this value in a variable. And now I would like to implement a split command. So how can I use that particular one? Means as the split we are implementing from a JavaScript. So now we need to add a JavaScript function stored as of the value is present in a variable and dot split wherever space comes into a picture, get the 0th index of the value and store it in a B variable. And now echo dollar open braces B close the braces. So here my text is this is the Murthy. So here my text is this is a Murthy. That's good. This is my text. So I am asking it to split wherever the space comes into the picture. So here is my first space. So it will store this in the B of 0. B of 1. The next one, which is a is. B of 2, which is Murthy. This is the thing. So here I am asking it to print 0th index. So when I run this script, it needs to return it returned an error message instead of a success message. Let's see. Syntax, something is missing. Okay. See here, for this A, I need to specify in a single quote. I forgot to specify that one. When I run this script, if you observe, in the log, it needs to return this to the concern be of 0. If I change it to first index, and when I run this script, this time the second value will be returned. Okay, this is the way how can we return the various values present in a line by specifying a delimiter. Okay, by specifying a delimiter. Are these the scenarios clear for everybody so far? Okay, so hope it's clear for everybody. And now, what I am trying to do is, I am going to stop this session now, but you people need to continue the session. Okay, from my end I am going to stop the session. Simply I am not going to explain any of these commands, which is the next two concepts in the today's class. I will explain the next two concepts in the next class. In the meantime, you people need to prepare up to here. Okay, check your knowledge by writing various examples and all these stuff. Okay, is this point clear for everybody? As we have 30 minutes left, just practice from your end now, and if at all you are having any major blockers, just let me know. Okay, just consider our session as our practice session from now for the rest of the 30 minutes. Okay, practice all the scenarios what we discussed in the class. Is this point clear for everybody? Chandrika, Shiva, Yusuf. Okay. So Yusuf, just give me a second. Let me have a look into Chandrika's question first. Sure, definitely I will share more stuff right now. Chandrika, could you please share your screen? Yes. So click on that extreme right. No, the above one. Yes. Below the close button, you can find that point. Last four symbols. Last four. Above the preferences, you can find that. For horizontal lines below the bookmark or besides the bookmark. Sorry. Right side to the bookmark. Yeah, your IDE got open, right? Okay, that's great. Then you can go ahead with the practice then, right? Cool, Chandrika. Practice this stuff from your end. Okay. Yusuf, could you please show me your issue? Oh. How much time basically you should keep that when you are getting the issue? From the start itself. Okay, just a second. Let's have a look into your issue then. See, Yusuf, you are facing issue with this go to if, right? Okay, that's great. simple mistake which you are doing over here is, whenever we are using a generate name, okay, selenium dot is element present, you are checking for the existence of a particular object, right? Selenium dot is element present, you are checking the existence of a particular object. So how can we check that particular one? You are specifying it directly, whereas you need to specify that the CSS information in a double quotes. The CSS information in a double quotes. That's the only error message you are having in your syntax. Yes. End it with the double quotes. Start it with the double quotes. Save it and run this script and check out. Sorry, I don't have any idea on IDEs. Could you please let me know? So it will definitely work this time. Okay. Chandrika, you can share your screen now. So could you please show me your issue, Chandrika? Click on tech details here. So before going to that, click on the technical details. In the Firefox browser, we have some warning message. Technical details. Try to open bing.com. You already opened that bing.com, right? Switch to the tab. Close this tab. Switch to the tab. Go back to your Selenium IDE. Yes. Go back to your Selenium IDE. And now, go back to this, yeah, it's in recording mode. Go back to the Firefox browser. Enter some value into the search field. Yes. Enter a value into this search field. Go back to your Selenium IDE. It's recording the script, right? As per your requirement, it's recording the script. So, my sincere request is do practice up to here, and in the tomorrow's class I will continue the rest of the topics. Okay guys? Where in which in the tomorrow's class also I will start these Selenium apps. Okay, is this point clear for everybody? Do practice up to here in the today's session timing, and we will cover these concepts in the next class. Okay guys, is this point clear for everybody? Hope your doubts also got clarified. Oh. Could you please show me your problem? What exactly is this one? What problem you are getting? So what is your problem? Okay, so close the Firefox browser once. Close it. Let's see. Open your Firefox browser again. It's there or it's gone? Yes. Okay. Just continue your working as, okay, Chandrika, Shiva, and Yusuf. Continue your working. So in the tomorrow's class, I will explain test suits and the frameworks, and then I will start Selenium RC concepts in the tomorrow's class. Okay. I will start the Selenium RC concepts in the tomorrow's class. So do practice up to here. Catch you again in the tomorrow's class. Okay. Shiva, you can see, share your screen. Can you see what's my scripts? Once. Okay. Sure. What are you sitting here? What is it? So, where exactly you are getting error messages? Could you please run this script once? Okay, go to options, options, again options. Here is the user extension file. Selenium core user extensions. Unknown command would be if. Okay, so for you the go-to command is nice. So Shiva, could you please store this file in some other location? Okay, so the user extension file, store it in some other location and try. That will work. Like in a D drive or some other location, store the user extension file in some other location and try to work. So click on that home is there, right? In the toolbar, home is there. Besides that home, four horizontal symbols are there. Click on that. Click on that once. Yeah. Click on a plus besides the customize. Plus. You need to click on a plus. IDE is not installed. So, which version you are checking? This 32nd version. I hope in the last class I asked you to install 18th version. Did you try it with the 18th version? So as we are facing some issue with the latest browser version, try to install the previous version. See, for 32nd browser I faced this problem. I changed my version to 18 and it worked fine for me. So that's why I'm asking you to proceed. Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, right. So with the multiple Firefox browser versions and as well as this Firefox version, right? So if at all it is not showing the go-to-if means the command, the user extension file was not loaded properly. That's the only thing. The go-to-if is not displaying means that the user extension file was not added properly. That's the only thing. Okay. Delete the existing one first. How to upload the new one means. So delete the existing one first and then add this file in a new drive and try to install it. Okay, that's the simple thing. And should and Chandrika, by tomorrow please download the 18th version. I will start just 10 to 15 minutes before for you and we will take a look into that. Okay, Chandrika? Just a practice from your end, guys. If at all you are having any questions, just drop me an email to info@luckytrains.com. Okay, Chandrika and Sivan, Yusuf, is this point clear for you three? Thank you very much, guys. Catch you again in the next class.